Hey everyone, Vortex TCG here, and today I'm going to be showcasing you my sealed only deck in action against KingSukamon. And if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, it really does mean a lot. And as I mentioned, sealed only, I'm going to be leaving a link and a card right now to the first episode of Sealed Only Digimon. That will give you some context about the deck as it is right now, and I really hope you enjoy that video because I put a lot of work into it. So this is the first game, and I get a pretty good start here with a lot of rookies. The KingSukamon is a blocker at this point because I have a blue guy in play, and my opponent goes into the Cooties Kick here, swings into security and hits a flower cannon. So essentially it ended up being a waste of memory to go into, really hinders his turn. So he then goes into the Numemon for free, passing me to 2, and so I get to go up now, and I have a lot of pressure coming into this turn because we're essentially both playing like a rookie rush type of deck at this point, because we all have like small guys in the field. So I play this Hellscythe card, I think it's called Spiral something, I can't remember what it is, but it gives my guy 2k TP, and if I have a blue guy, it's piercing. So I swing, and it's 7k, so it survives the Etamon. I only play this card just because it's nice to cycle a card, and I think it's pretty good as well in this kind of deck at the moment. Swing with the Vmon, it hits into the Junkmon, and then I play another Vmon. Here, I'm just thinking, because ironically, like, I know in most builds of Imperial, like when it's fully built Imperial, you usually go for the Stingmon there, but unfortunately the starter decks have a very high focus on green other than blue. So what I do here is I add the XVmon, I believe. So he goes into the Etamon here, trashes 1 to give minus security once minus 1 and minus 3k, deleting the KingSukamon. So I go into the Wormmon in raising, and then I feel like I've got a lot of advantage going on here. So he goes into the TK, and he has to pick a card out here, but unfortunately he hasn't got a yellow card, so he has to pick out, I believe, one of the black cards, and then yeah, it forces him to lose memory. So yeah, I'm not too sure about the TK. I think Izzy's a lot more better in this deck, quite frankly. But that's just my opinion. I go into the Stingmon here because, quite frankly, I need it. Need to hit some 4s and 5s. So I swing into security. It's a Numemon, so it lives. So feeling alright about that. And then I just go into the XVmon to pass 2-4. So I misplayed there. I should have definitely gone into the XVmon on the Wormmon and then go into the Stingmon in play to give him reduced memory. But I don't think it really matters at this point, and he scoops up now. Alright, and we get into game 2, and I get to start off here first. I go into the KingSukamon, and I'm not too sure what else to do here, so I go into the Betamon. I think what I realised with this deck is that I need to apply pressure early on, especially if I have multiple level 3s in hand. So he goes into the Garymon, trashes a KingSukamon to draw 2. And I think at this point I was just like, oh, is this level 3? No, it's level 4. So, you know, just things you just don't actually notice. And he plays another one here, I believe, trashing a Numemon and drawing 2 here. So probably a decent amount of memory to play with on my turn here. And so I'm just considering what I want to do here, because I think I'm in a weird position where I could push up and be aggressive, but I could also just play in the back a little bit here. So what I do here is I promote, and I go into the Stingmon to cycle to draw, and then what I do here is then I go into, actually no, I think I swing here with the Betamon and I hit the Chikurumon, which is probably the worst thing that could happen here. I think it wasn't, I don't know why I raised here. I think I should just kept this in raising, because then it would be protected, and I'm not really utilizing the effect of the Dino Beamon. So yeah, probably just a big misplay from me, I think, on this one. And he has a pretty aggressive turn coming up next as well, so a little bit worrying for sure. So I just swing with the Kokabuterimon here. It dies. Not really surprised at that, quite frankly. And then I just hard play the Dino Beamon, because I kind of, like, I don't really have much of an option here, quite frankly. Like, I can't really push anything else up. I don't think I have any level 3s in the hand, and I definitely don't want to hard play them if I did have them. He swings with the Suka, it dies, so he's able to use his effect, use the Pagu, and then gets the Tumon, which is really nice for him, obviously. And his aggression is obviously still going on, so really good for him for sure. At this point, he's just considering, does he want to swing more, because it could activate more security, which could be very problematic for him for sure. So he goes into the Etamon here to give a guy -3 and security attack plus a -1, not +1. That'd be really good for me. I think in this situation it's the Dino Beamon that gets the -3 and a minus security. So not really huge. I don't think he has major deletion in his deck. So I think we're all good there. And so at this point, he's just considering what he needs to do for his game plan, because, quite frankly, I'm not too sure myself. So he goes Maki, gets a dual color black card, and gets the King Etamon, and then he goes into the King Etamon here for a reduced cost of 2, and then reveals the top 4, and then gets to play something with the combined cost of 7, I believe. So he just plays the blocker Etamon, which is pretty effective, I'd say. Definitely helps him a lot. So I hatch another egg, go into a Wormmon here. And at this point, I'm not too sure what I'm meant to do here, because I can't attack for security. He does have a blocker up. The blocker can go into another Etamon, I believe. That's the one it does, I think. So not a great situation for sure, but you have to push through it. And I do have answers in my hand in the Mega Def. So what I do here is I go into the Stingmon here, and then yeah, I think I'm just in a really awkward position. I just have to check what the inheritables do of the Etamon, because quite frankly I'm not too familiar with this stuff. I think it just allows him to delete one guy instead of the other if it was to get deleted, but thankfully my cards don't really delete, they just bounce back to hand or to the bottom of the deck, so feeling pretty good at that point. But what I end up doing here is I just go into the Vmon here. So I add the Stingmon and return the rest. The reason why I do this is because he only has 4 swings. I don't think he can gain security attack other than through the KingSuka, but I assume he doesn't have the KingSuka because he's already gone through 1. So I'm feeling decent in this situation for sure. And I think if he was to go into the KingSuka, I don't think it would be able to. Well, it would potentially let him win the game essentially, but he does go into it here. Doesn't have the he changes this into a token, I believe. Can't remember which one he changes into a token here. I think he changed the Vmon into a token here, I'm pretty sure. So I use Mega Def here, and then also bounce back the KingSuka here because he can't go into the KingSuka anymore, and the Metal Arrow is kind of just like a sitting duck at this point. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he changed the Vmon into the token here, so just as a heads up. I'm pretty sure the token effect only lasts until his turn. Could be wrong here, but he swings into security, it doesn't die, hits the XVmon instead. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good in this situation. He goes into the Sukamon, I believe that is. I promote. So feeling pretty good. I think I'm not allowed to do this. I'm not too sure though. I think it's not. No, I think I can. I think KingSukamon only lasts us to the end of his turn, but I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, please let me know. It doesn't really matter because even if I wasn't to go into the XVmon here, I would still play the Megadeth and it'll be for reduced cost. I don't think it makes much of a difference here. But I returned the Etamon because obviously I think he's the threat. Obviously, maybe I should have done the Suka, because if I did the Suka, then he couldn't threat the KingSukamon, but he hits another Megadeth, so I bounce back the Metaletta here. So pretty lucky in security here, not gonna lie. And so he's just considering what he needs to do, because obviously not really a great position to be in, quite frankly. Hitting 2 Megadeths in security is always rough. It doesn't really matter what you do, so... he just hard plays DefX to give me 8, and so this deletes the level 4s, so I get a lot of memory here, so feeling pretty good at least about that. And so here I swing into the Tumon here, he gets the add effect, and then here I go into the Imperialdramon Dragon mode, and what I go into next is the Paladin mode for a high cost of 5, but I get to get rid of all the sources from the Sukamon and then return those to the bottom of the deck. So yeah, the Imperialdramon coming in clutch here, because now it has an open board. I can threaten lethal potentially next turn, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that for sure. Now my opponent has to answer back, see if he has any answer to the Imperialdramon Paladin mode. So he goes into the Garymon to discard to draw 2. And now, just considering what else he needs to do. And then he goes into a Suka to pass for 1. So at this point, I promote the Betamon. I know that the effect happens when attacking as well, so I swing using its effect to bounce back to return those to the bottom of the deck. Swings, and then yep, just checking the effect to make sure that's correct. Swing with the Betamon doesn't die, so pretty huge. And then I just play the Vmon to pass him with 2. And yeah, I'm in a really good position here. I don't think Etamon can really, not Etamon, well, KingSuka, Etamon, King Etamon, all that kind of stuff doesn't really have a massive answer for this. So he plays the Numemon and I just swing for game. Hopefully there's nothing in security. There isn't, and then I win game 2.